Hey guys, today I'm going to be installing these LED bumper reflectors, which can act as brake lights and parking lights while also being a standard retro reflector. I bought these from a GR Corolla member, and he has made a plug-and-play kit. I do want to mention that this is a V1 kit. The V2 kit is better and fully plug-and-play, but the instructions for disassembling everything should be the same. So I'm going to do a video on this, but the new kit, if you buy it now, will be better. It includes these two reflectors, which are just the standard ones you'd find on Amazon, two plug-and-play harnesses, these, which I don't think the V2 comes with, but these, you heat them and the solder melts, and two pieces of wiring loom. The first thing I did was strip out my interior. I'd recommend pulling the foam out all the way, but I don't want to disconnect my amplifier. But what you do to get this panel off is to remove the two hooks. There's like eyelets held in by 10mm right here and right here. Remove the two 10s and then pull this panel up. That's all it takes. The next thing I did was to remove this one, and on the left side these two clips, so that this can move freely. This is held in by this clip, and this clip. These might stay inside of the chassis, so you'll have to pull those out. The best tool for that is one of these clip removal tools. It's invaluable. And the last thing I did was to remove these covers that cover the bolts for the taillights. All I did was just yank from the top, and they pop out with two clips. Here it is, nice and simple. And I taped off the taillight, because you're going to have to pull this taillight outwards and you might scratch the paint, so it's always a good idea to tape off the edges. Got one taillight out. It's held in right here with two clips, one pin, and this clip. So you just pull straight back. But see, it even ripped my tape, so actually double up this tape. Luckily, I don't see any damage, but double up the tape so you don't scratch your paint. Once you have the taillight out, there are three connectors. One right here, very simple. And then this third one that's clipped in. So pop this out with a screwdriver so that the connector comes loose, then unplug it to get the taillight fully out. Once you're to this point, go inside of here and you will see this connector. This is the connector for the taillights. You will install your plug-and-play harness in between there, and then this part is what goes to the reflectors. Now I'm doing this a little out of order because I wanted to strip down the interior first, but now we're going to be routing the reflector wire up through here, and it's going to go through this grommet right here. The instructions say to cut a hole in this grommet so it'll fit the wires through, and then they'll go in here to connect. So there are three clips you have to remove. One here, let's see, yeah, one here, back here, and then one in the middle. These clips are extremely difficult to remove for whatever reason. They don't pop up very easily. From there, I got access to the original reflector, which is just held in with two clips and one Phillips screw. The instructions do say to remove more, but I just pushed this out of the way. On the new reflector, move over the two foam pieces right here, and then drill a hole for the wire. What I did was I stuck three zip ties together through this hole so I could pull this cable all the way up here. Hopefully that works. So that hole I drilled was perfect, about halfway between the Phillips screw and the clip. This is a 5/16 drill bit. You can see up here, I had the zip tie taped to the wiring harness so it wouldn't fall through while I'm working. And here's the wire up here. Next, we're going to push it through here. I popped this guy out, cut the center piece off. I'm just going to pop it back in here. So now we can run our new wire through that. I kept the backing so that this stays in place. And this is where our wire will go through. Throw it in the included sheath now and tape the ends. What I did was tuck this underneath this clip so it doesn't move and rattle, and stuffed it into the grommet by twisting it. And now I have the wire sticking out back there. You can see that little bit of wire right here. And then we can start connecting it to the harness. And of course, you're gonna have to do this twice. I don't believe you'll have to do any of this in the V2, but I did not like those splices that you heat up to melt the solder. So I used regular crimps. Gonna heat these up and seal them, and then plug it in and see if everything works. This is the brakes on. looks like it works. It's actually much brighter than I expected. Now on to the other side. I put these two bolts back in. They're in plastic, so be careful. And what I did was I tied up all the loose wires together with some Tessa tape so that it never rattles. I recommend you do this, but it's not necessary. That was a bit more involved than I expected, but it is done. Both sides work. This is just the parking light. The brake light makes them brighter. It's pretty much the same thing on this side. The harness is a little bit closer. I have the new piece connected here with the crimps. I'm gonna tie this all up with Tessa tape and then put the interior back together. It's straightforward. It was just a little annoying in terms of running the wire up from the reflector to the taillight through the bumper. And of course the crimping is always annoying in such tight spaces. Luckily the V2, you don't have to do that. I'll link in the description where you can get these lights because they're available on Amazon, but they just come with bare wires and you have to splice into your car. I'll link the plug and play kit that one of the members is selling because honestly, it's fantastic. Just having the wiring harness that plugs into the taillight harness and not having to cut any wires is enough for me to pay whatever it takes. Definitely install this if you like how it looks. I think it looks pretty good and it's a little safer. I don't know how long these will last because they are Amazon specials, but let's hope they last for a long time, especially installed properly with the foam and RTV around the wire, which comes from the factory. I'll see you guys next time.